Good morning. Whew, do I have a stellar lesson for you guys today. It's gonna be so exciting. Try to contain yourselves. It's gonna be tough to relax and to contain yourselves, but make sure you do. One quick reminder before we get going. Excuse me. Oh, mornings. Okay. Is that your quiz corrections and retakes are due today. So if you have signed up for a retake at this point for a quiz, and we're in the process. I'm in the process with like 10 of you, or at least 8 of you maybe, who are still doing it. Make sure that you get those to me. Some of you are actually taking the retakes, some of you are still making corrections, so it has to get done today. It's a top priority for me, so make sure that you are contacting me today and talking about where you're at. Okay. This is our warm-up for today. I think it is warm-up number 4. Remember, if you write these down and you send them to me at the end of the quarter, then we will you'll get extra credit for quiz points, which is definitely helpful. Okay, so the question is, are these lines parallel, perpendicular, or neither? Well, let's see what we know. If they're parallel lines, then they're going to have the same slope. We learned that 2 days ago. And if they're perpendicular lines, they're going to have opposite reciprocal slopes. So the first step is to make both of these look like y equals mx plus b by solving for y. So I'm going to take that first equation and start solving for y. So I'm going to first move the 2x. Now I've got 7y equals negative 2x minus 35. And then I'm going to divide by 7 to get y by itself. So this is y equals negative 2/7 x. Let's see, 35 divided by 7 is, we got negative there, so that's negative 5. So that's our first equation. Our second equation, if I write it down, is 4x plus 14y equals negative 42. Again, I'm going to solve for y, so I'm going to get that 4x out of the way. And then divide by 14. So y equals, let's see, negative 4 over 14 x minus 42 divided by 14. Okay, so if you take 42 and you divide it by 14, you get 3. So this is y equals, if I reduce this one, if I take a 2 out of both, I get negative 2/7 x minus 3. Alright, so here are my two equations. And now I can actually compare them. So do you see how they have the same slope, the same m? That's negative 2/7 and negative 2/7 here. That means that they are parallel. You're going to have some questions like this in your homework. You're going to have to make them look like y equals to compare. There's going to be 3 of them. You have to decide if they're parallel, perpendicular, or neither. Remember, opposite reciprocal means that it would be flipped. So if this was a perpendicular line, if this one was negative 2/7, then this one would be positive 7/2, because it would be flipped and it would be positive compared to negative. And if it is neither of those things, if they're not the same or opposite reciprocals, then they are neither. All right, that's it. Pause if you need some more time. Pause, pause, pause. Okay. So, today you're definitely going to want graph paper. So I'll tell you what, if you pause the video, I will totally wait for you. I'm going to be that nice. Waiting for craft paper. Do. Okay, today we're talking about 5.3. Talking about scatter plots. Woo! Watch out. How exciting is that? Today is the 24th. It is Friday. Oh my gosh, right? After a long day, a long week of not going to school, but still going to school, you've made it. You deserve this. It's time. It's time for you to get a break, I think, after, of course, you do the homework from this lesson, because that's still, important and stuff. All right, got my weapon ruler out. You would think that at some point during this pandemic, and I had, I've been to Target, I've been to Walmart, I've been to the grocery store. All of these places would easily have a ruler that I could buy, and yet I'm not doing it. I'm stubbornly sticking with this weapon ruler because it does make a great straight edge, and it even has an actual ruler on the side, so I could technically measure something if I needed to. Alright, this is Y, and this is X. And let me tell you what, you guys are in for a treat today of what this graph is about, because I realized about 4 months ago that I needed some information for a scatter plot, and this was, of course, before social distancing. So I was together in a family gathering with myself, my children, my husband, and some other people. And I started collecting some data on them. This is super true. So the data I decided to get was I decided to collect data on how many farts each person had throughout the course of an evening. So I considered a fart anything that I could smell or hear. So let's take a look at the data. Today we're going to be talking about age versus farts. How many farts are happening? Very important subject. Obviously, all of this is super true. I would never just make up data for you guys. That'd be stupid. All right. So, let's talk about my 3-year-old first, Zandy. Throughout the course of the evening, he had 4 farts. Not holding back that kid. And then you've got my 7-year-old Penny. I'm sure she'd be ashamed to hear me tell you that she had 5 farts throughout the evening. So, again, my my X is going to be age on this one. So my 3-year-old had 4 farts, and over here is the number of farts. Everybody make this graph with me. Got to make a nice fart graph. My 7-year-old had 5 farts. Okay, let's see. My husband. Well, I mean, Bo's 39, and he definitely had like 10 farts in the evening. Obviously, I exactly counted. I had to look back in many journals to find this data, because obviously I collect data and write it down in my journal every day. Let's see, then we've got me. I'm 35. Throughout the course of the evening, 0 farts. Actually, none. I didn't smell or hear anything for myself, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna qualify that with any reasons. I'm just saying that that's very true. Then you've got my sister-in-law, Bo's sister. She's also 35 and 9 farts. Okay, I'm just a little different between her and I. It's okay. People have different bodies, different things. Not one to judge. Just writing down the data. Then we've got Bo's dad, my father-in-law, who I love very much. And a whopping 15 farts from this guy. Okay, that's a lot. I mean, I was tallying faster than I could count, almost. Bo's sister has 2 children.